Hi everyone! This series of videos will take you through Lesson 9F in the new packet, which is all about two new properties of logs called the product and quotient properties. You may recall in the previous lesson learning one called the power property. So that property combined with the product and the quotient properties make up the three most important behaviors that we need to come to appreciate about logs. These are things that logs can do for us that really open up the possibility that we can do more with them in an algebra context and allow them to really help us solve problems. As you saw, for instance, the power property allows us to use algebra to solve problems by bringing the powers down and allowing us to use the algebra skills we already have. The product and the quotient properties have kind of a similar utility factor, where we can use them to combine logs in creative ways so that, again, we can really be practical and solve problems. For the first couple of questions here, you're going to need a calculator that has both a log and a natural log button. Most standard calculators do have one. Sorry. So, if you have a calculator like this one, a TI calculator, you'll see that the log and the natural log buttons are over here on the left-hand side, kind of near the 7 and the 4, respectively. Most calculators have a log and a natural log button somewhere. It's just a matter of finding them. Even phone calculators do have them. So if you're not sure, you can always open up your default phone calculator and take a look. For example, this one is mine, and even though it doesn't appear on the main screen, if I go to the extended options, I can see a log and a natural log feature. Some people also have it so that if you turn your phone sideways and you get a standard looking calculator that has more of a scientific edition, you can see the log and the natural log buttons there too. In any case, you can always use Desmos. Go to desmos.com/calculator, and it has a calculator option as well built in, like a standard calculator, not just a grapher. And you can type the letters LOG or LN, and that allows you to use the log function in their calculator. So lots of options. But the reason why you'll need a calculator is for a bit of an investigation in question number 1. It says to use your calculator to help you fill in these missing blanks. So here's what they mean by that. The first thing you'll want to do is to type what you see in each expression on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So log 5, close the parentheses, plus log 6, close the parentheses. Don't forget that if your calculator is like mine and has parentheses that open whenever you press the word log, you'll need to close each parentheses to be able to calculate separately. Now, you're going to get a decimal, and that's to be expected. The actual number that you get is not that important, but make a note of it. In this case, 1.477. Because what you'll want to do now is to type in one more number, this time a single number, that the calculator would give you 1.477 for as well. So for example, if I type log, and then I just think like, I see a 5 and a 6, so maybe like log 11. 1.041. Okay, no, that didn't match. Looks a little too small. So log 11 isn't going to work. I'm not going to write 11 in that little box because it didn't give me something equivalent, but now I'm going to kind of think, okay, 1.04, that was a little too small. Maybe I'll try something bigger, like log 25. Ooh, 1.39, and I need 1.47. So you can kind of keep going until you find a number that's close. Now you can tell I've gotten really close, 1.447. I need 1.477. So as soon as you find a number that works, and I'll give you a hint, for the most part it's going to be integers, so you don't have to worry too much about decimals. Write that number that you ended up finding inside of the log to work in this empty box. So I'm not going to write 28, but I have a feeling I'm going to write something close to 28. Then you're going to do the same thing for the next one, natural log 5 plus natural log 2. So you'll do the same thing, and you can use the natural log button, natural log 5, parentheses, plus natural log 2, parentheses, 2.303, And again, you'll give yourself that kind of mission. Okay, natural log of what is going to get me close to 2.303, yada, 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 yada. So 1.945, I'm close, but I'll need to go a little bit bigger, and then I'll just keep going. Now, the goal is that you can find all of these values. But then there is a secondary goal. Can you figure out a pattern? Was there a reason why these numbers worked? Because maybe it's not just guessing. Maybe you don't have to try a zillion numbers to be able to figure out what works. Maybe there's something going on here, something that you can kind of dig a little bit deeper to find. And if there is indeed a pattern, maybe that'll make shorter work of all the questions in number 1. Same thing goes for question number 2. You're just going to be subtracting. So natural log 20 minus natural log of 5. That one is 1.386. And you're going to ask yourself, okay, well, like, what could work? Natural log, I don't know, like 100? Oh, that's way too big. 4.60, and I needed 1.38. That's way too big, so I'm going to have to try much smaller numbers. 2.30, and I needed 1.38. So again, I need to go even smaller. And you can start to kind of work out, hopefully, that there will be a pattern to this. That once you nail down what number needs to work in the individual problem, you'll start to be able to kind of abstract this and look at all of the problems and say, hey, wait a minute, I think I see what's going on here. So I'm going to ask you to do questions 1 and 2 by investigation. Investigation means try not to use the answer keys, try not to just spoil it by Googling product quotient property, and just see if you can discover a pattern. Most of the time when you discover something, it ends up sticking a lot better in your long-term memory than if you just kind of cheat it and cut to the chase and go, okay, just tell me the shortcut, just tell me the rule, just tell me what I'm supposed to get from here. So even though I know that's a tempting thing to do because it just feels like it's faster that way, I guarantee in the long run, you're more likely to remember what you notice if you're the person having the realization, if you're the person actually noticing what's going on. So before you watch the next video, before you look at the answer key, legitimately try questions 1 and 2. And then in the next video, I'll confirm, hopefully, that what you noticed is indeed something important called the product or the quotient property, and we'll go from there.